I'm here for the next in our series of Breaking the Huddle Hall of Fame interviews. I'm here with quarterback Kevin Wyeth, currently of the Montreal's finest. Played with some other teams before, and we'll get to that as we walk through your journey in FlagPlus Football. But first off, congrats and thanks for being here, Kevin.
Thank you very much.
So we will start off by asking you about your start in this league. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was with the Irish, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So talk to me about your start in the league. How did you first hear about the league and that first season, how you came in?
Just basically through friends. I mean, I think it was Steve Crompton that told me about it, asked me to play, and I just jumped on board. Anywhere there's football, I love to play football. So.
And how did you find that first season? Obviously, FlagPlus is a different game from different things. It's not the same as touch, not the same as tackle. So how did you find that first season that you guys did?
We did not bad, but I mean a lot different from an outdoor field to an indoor field.
Definitely.
A lot smaller, less players, less room. Found it harder. I mean, easier to throw the deep ball,
yeah,
but harder on the short game.
Okay.
But it wasn't too bad. I enjoyed it a lot.
And you played touch before that,
yes,
right? And tackle as well.
Tackle football too.
Okay, so a lot of the common theme is for all these guys have obviously played both touch and tackle before being playing in FlagPlus. All the guys who've been nominated, inducted into the Hall of Fame. How did you find the adjustment? Now with touch, there's certain differences, and with tackle, there's quite a lot of differences as well. Talk to me about the adjustment. Did you find it difficult? How long did it take for you to get comfortable?
To flag?
Yeah.
It took a few games. I mean, the first few games I was a bit iffy. I mean, wasn't too much different because throwing a ball to a receiver is throwing a ball to a receiver.
That's right.
But just with the field and everything, it took maybe a few games, 3-4 games, and then to actually get a nice flow going.
All right. And now, like I said, you started with the Irish.
Yep.
Made it to the finals in the spring season of 2006 against the Young Guns, if I remember correctly. That was the last game the Young Guns played as constituted.
Yep.
Talk to me a bit about that experience when you guys first made your mark. That was a big year for you and for your receivers. I remember you had, I think, 3 of the top 5 receivers were the Irish, and you were, I think, the top-rated quarterback that year too. It was. Talk to me about that year, your first brush with greatness for FlagPlus football.
It was fun. I've always played on teams that have good receivers. Maybe not good defenses, but always amazing receivers. So it wasn't too hard. I mean, it was fun to come in the first year and actually go far enough to make a statement that we're here. But it was exciting.
How did it feel to lose in that game? I mean, obviously it doesn't feel good, but I mean, what did you take from that? What did you know that is there anything you decided that you had to change going forward from that game?
Not really change, just keep playing, keep improving. But I mean, just sucks always to lose.
Yeah,
I mean,
any game. But to go all the way to the finals.
Yeah, it sucked to go to the finals and lose it. But I mean, we learned every year. I mean. Got better and better, and I mean.
Look where you are now, a Hall of Famer. That's it. The one thing I like to ask each of the inductees is, it's very hard as a player to critique yourself, either good or bad. But once you get to this point, there's obviously you do a lot good and maybe a little bad. So my first question is, what do you think is your biggest asset? What is it that has contributed to your success in this league and allowing you to become a Hall of Famer now?
Always having good receivers.
Okay.
I mean, everywhere I've played, I mean, it's guys from touch that got me into flag. They were always my receivers. I mean, having receivers you played with for so long, so it's a lot better. And then improving and getting more talented receivers and everything. I mean,
and then personally, in your game, what do you think is the thing that sets Kevin Wyeth apart from other quarterbacks?
I guess experience. I mean, from tackle to touch to flag. I mean, after running so many plays, I mean, you start finding your niche.
You start seeing it a little bit.
Yeah, you see better. I mean, age helps. I mean, you're young. You're just you're trying to gun the ball in everywhere. More with age, you start learning. You're more experienced.
And if you had to pick a fault, is something that through the years you said, I just can't. I can't master this, or this is something that I always wish I could get better at, but I struggle with. If there had to be one.
My temper.
Okay.
I can lose it in some points and.
Towards your opponents or your teammates?
More, not even both. I mean,
or
a
the
bit
referees.
of both. More the referees.
Okay.
A ref can get to me and really throw me off my game. If I start to lose it, then that's probably my biggest weakness.
Okay.
I mean, that's I can.
Recurring theme in these interviews. Is all these guys, they make it because they're intense and they want to win, but the temper can sometimes get the best.
Temper, sometimes they'll get me off my game and that. I mean, yeah.
Now, you've played on some excellent teams in FlagPlus football. You said it, great receivers, but even on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best team you've ever played with in FlagPlus?
Montreal's finest.
And which edition of that do you find was...
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I mean...
discounting this year, because you always want to say this year.
Okay, discounting this year? Yeah, because this year we've improved a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
The year we won the championship.
Yeah.
I don't remember, was it?
Not last year, the year before.
The year before, yeah.
2009, I believe.
Yeah, the year we beat the Hurricanes. I think that was probably our best team.
You were that was your first season with Montreal's finest. You were brought in, Keyshawn was talking about how he recruited you, by having met you through the High Rollers when you played quarterback for that team. Yeah. Talk to me about, was there any pressure coming into that situation, seeing as Montreal's finest had lost to the Hurricanes 2 seasons in a row in the championship game?
A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I was nervous every game.
Okay.
Every game I didn't want to disappoint them. Okay. Because I knew they made it to the finals every year. Mm-hmm. And I came into a team knowing I had to make it to the finals and improve a bit more. Mm-hmm. So I was worried every game. Mm-hmm. Never told them. They don't know that.
You can say it now. That's it. You're comfortable enough.
Yeah.
And talk to us about that game. Obviously, in most people's minds, the most exciting game FlagPlus has ever seen. How did you feel in that game?
I just went with the game. It was an amazing game. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Did you ever have a moment during the game where you were like, I can't believe this is happening? Or is it just you're so in the flow that it only hit you after?
I think it was more after. I mean, during the game, I was like, okay, do we need to stop or something? Yeah, it hit me like, okay, come on. But I mean, more after the game where I realized the game just went, and it was
a barn
probably one of the best games I've played. Yeah. I mean, like, I've noticed played. Like, even watching the Hurricanes offense play, I mean, it was like,
it was lights out. There were no mistakes.
No mistakes. No drop balls, no interceptions, no nothing.
It's not like we were talking about like some bad defenses. And that's
no.
It was the two best defenses. So it was really a heck of a game. One that was really fun to watch and I'm sure fun to play in, and even more fun to win.
Yes, very much.
Now, you've played with a lot of excellent players. It's a recurring theme. Who was your favorite player to play with in your career in FlagPlus football? The guy you've enjoyed playing with the most?
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn Thompson?
Keyshawn Thompson.
Tell us why.
He just makes the game fun. I mean, all his screaming and his demeanor and attitude on the field.
Gets you pumped up?
Yeah, he gets me going. I mean, I can tell him to do something for me, and he just tries to do it to get me going. And yeah, he's probably the most
fun guy
I've played with. Yeah.
Who's the hardest player you've had to play against? Now, either because they're so good and you're always mindful of where they are defensively, or just one that annoys you so much and you absolutely want to beat him every time you're out there. You can give answers to both.
Guy that I don't like to play against would be what's his name for the rusher for the Express?
Andrei Zesevic.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I hate playing him. He's so tall, I want to chop his legs down.
All right.
Team I would like to always beat is, I'm going to have to say it, is Carmen's team. Anyone that Carmen plays for, I want to beat Carmen. Because supposedly I never beat him. Yeah. But I have beaten him once against the Sharks with the Pac-Man. So
is that the only time?
That's the only time.
Right.
In flag football.
Yeah, that's it, obviously.
In flag football, but yeah.
So that's the one. Maybe all things seem to be building towards a rematch there this year. So we'll see where that goes. All right, now I can probably guess the answer to this question, but it's on my list. So I'll ask it. What's the biggest win for you? Is there a win that for you was the one that you sat back after the game and you're like, this was incredible. If I retire after today, I'm done. I'm good. I'm good.
Championship game.
That's it.
The Hurricanes.
Any others? Nothing to that level.
Maybe with the Pac-Men when we won, when we made it into the playoffs, the semifinals.
Yeah.
After that first
game against
quarterfinal. When we beat them, I was pretty amazed with that. That was a good one. Because, to beat Notre Dame, to get in to play against, we lost to the Wolfpack, I think it was. Yeah.
And that was a team that was struggling until you came along. It was a big. Yeah. That's when I find that the legend of Kevin Wyeth started building, because it's like you said, it's a lot easier when you have excellent players surrounding you. But you had a couple of good players on that team, but not a stacked roster, and to take them where you took them. And that game, Notre Dame Pac-Man, was another one of those.
Another down to the minute last play,
and it's maybe one of the best games nobody saw but me, basically. So it was an exciting game to watch. What's the biggest loss for you in FlagPlus? The one that maybe still bugs you to this day?
Express.
Last year.
Last year's Express.
What happened in that game?
It was just a shootout, and when you have somebody like SCC, I mean, this guy, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Catches every ball. So it's, I mean, back, forth, and we lost it. I mean, I was depressed with that one.
Yeah,
that was...
it makes you more hungry for this year, though.
Yeah, I wanted to play them bad this year. I mean, I wish they would have had SCC again, because it would have made it
more competitive.
More like last year.
Yeah.
But I mean, still like beating them this year because they beat me last year, or beat our team last year.
Yeah, so your memory's a bit long. It's good. That's the way to be. Who are your biggest influences in this league? In terms of you come into this league and it's a player that either taught you or gave you a good idea or some kind of tip or just some kind of improvement in you as a player, not necessarily as a quarterback, somebody that you feel has influenced you positively in this league? Has there been any, or is it just a case of you feeling it out and making the adjustments on your own?
I mean, making adjustments on my own, but I mean, I have always had players on my side helping me and encouraging me to go, and I mean, there's always somebody behind the scenes helping you.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Keyshawn, Kareem, those two, they're basically my agents, and they run my flag football.
And they've got you signed long term.
They got me signed long term
with a no movement clause.
Yes,
that's it. All right. So now, what I like to do is ask about your fellow inductees. So, and just you give me a couple words about them. We've touched upon some of them, but we'll go through it once again. So we'll start off with Keyshawn Thompson. You just mentioned him. A couple words about.
Great player, great athlete. I mean, drops balls here and there, but he's an athlete. I mean, he plays defense, offense. He gets you going. He's a team spirit. He gets a team going.
All right.
I mean,
so a lot of times we call him the heart and soul of the finest. You would agree with that?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, it's all of them, but I mean, Keyshawn, he gets the team going. Like your cheer before the game, everything. He gets everybody going.
All right. Carmen Police.
Amazing quarterback. Guy knows his game. Don't like him very much because he's my competitor, but I mean, amazing quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, even the teams he's played with, he's taken them. I mean, the Young Guns, Demons. Even when he played with the Sharks, they had a good season. I mean, he's just an excellent quarterback.
Rashdi Ben Abdelkader.
Fun to play against. Fun to see he catches everything.
Yeah.
I've never seen hands. I mean, it's like he's got fly tape on his hands and just everything caught. Very, very good receiver. Very talented. He's very smart too. Knows how to run routes. Very, very good receiver.
And finally, Patrick Chenard.
Annoying. I wish I had the speed he does.
Yeah.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete. I'm glad to see he got into quarterback. I mean, I still see him more as a DB receiver type guy, but I mean, now that he's improved his game at quarterback, I mean, he's an all-around athlete. He can play every position. He can rush. He can do whatever. He's up there. I'm glad he's in there because he is a athlete.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Yeah, he's a classic case of somebody kind of not maybe having all the quarterback training, but managed.
Nope, but made it up there and managed, and I was very impressed with him. At first, I doubted him being a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I knew he could run with it, but his throwing wasn't there. But now he's improved so much. I mean,
definitely.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about it, FlagPlus Football, the whole media aspect. I know you're not completely into that. Have you ever? Do you ever watch any stuff? Do you ever read the articles? Does it give you a kick? Do you laugh? Does somebody give you a report and say, "Oh well, this guy said this about you," and does that get you fired up, or do you just laugh it off?
I mean, both. I have Mocon calls me and tells me
what people say,
what anyone says about the Montreal's finest, about me on the internet. I mean, I go on and read it. I mean, it's not every day I check the thing, but I mean, I try to watch the panel there. I watch them every once in a while. It's fun to see. It's fun to have because I mean, it's like you have your own little professional sport.
That's right.
It's very good to have. But I get a kick out of it. I mean.
Does it ever fire you up though?
Yeah. Rayhan can get me fired up. I mean, he gets me going for some games. I mean, that Hurricane Championship, he had me fired up good because when I read his articles saying that the Hurricanes were going to win, stuff like this, like that. I mean, it got me going to go out there
as if you needed
and prove
the
I'm
extra,
wrong. Didn't really need it, but it gets you. It adds a little more to the fire.
Definitely. All right, now. What do you think is the change from you? You started in this league and everyone knew you were a good quarterback, but now you've over the last year and a half, 2 years, you leapfrogged into that Hall of Fame category, into that elite quarterback where we always mention Carmen Police, Rick Dencheri, and we always mention Kevin Wyeth as well. What is there a difference in your game, or was it just a matter of finding the right guys to surround you?
More relaxed. More relaxed. Having the right guys around me, of course,
helps,
because that's what you need. But I'm more. It's not like the first season where I came in and just had to impress. And now I'm more relaxed. I can play the game. I can learn off of things. But yeah, it's probably more relaxed. I mean, it's still.
Because you had that 1 year stretch where it seemed like you could do no wrong. You had that overtime thriller against the Hurricanes. You had the championship with the Shockers, playoff MVP for both, if I'm not mistaken. That season with the Pac-Men where you took them to the playoffs where nobody thought they would get, let alone win a round. It was just that year was the year of Wyeth. So that's when it seemed like, and I guess you could see the kind of the whole relaxation just as you were saying.
Yeah, as you from the beginning. I mean, you start off nervous, but then once you start to get into it and relax, I mean, that's like for all new quarterbacks to come into the league. I mean, your first year, if you might not play that well, it's not that bad. Keep coming, and eventually you'll get it. I mean, you just gotta play your cool, play your game.
And eventually you'll settle into the groove.
Eventually you settle into the groove. I mean, it eventually happens.
Right. And now you kind of have your crew of guys that were with the Irish, and they still play in the league, obviously. You played with them last spring a bit, or winter, I can't remember anymore, but last year you did. You do have those guys, and then you have the Montreal's finest guys. Which team do you enjoy playing with more?
Montreal's finest.
By far?
Yeah, well, not really by far. I mean, I love playing with ONS and all those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, they're all friends from Chateauguay. They're guys I play touch football with. They're guys I've played tackle football with.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just friends and everything. Competitive-wise, more Montreal's finest, just because I have the team to do it. We're up there. ONS, we had a good team. We gave a fight and everything, but I mean, it's not. There's not as much intensity. The intensity's there, but it's just Montreal's finest. It's a bit higher.
Would an ONS championship rank as high, or even maybe a bit higher? Because we always say when you win with your friends, it's not the same as winning with. Not that you're not friends with the Montreal's finest guys, but these are your friends that you've been playing for years and years and years.
No, championship's a championship.
Championship.
Win it with the Pac-Men, win it with ONS, win it with Montreal's finest.
It's all the same. Yeah.
Division 1 championship, better than Division 2. I mean, but I mean, if both teams were in Division 1 and I was on either one, whoever wins if we win the championship, same feeling. I mean, it's a championship.
That's true. One thing, and this is my last question, the one thing we talk about a lot when we talk about Kevin Wyeth is that you distribute the ball extremely well. And what I mean by that is that you don't pick favorites or anything. We really do see that you spread it around more than I think most quarterbacks in this league. Certainly all of the top three that I just mentioned earlier do that, but you seem to have I've never seen a go-to guy emerge for you. Is that a conscious decision for you, or is it something you decided that, it's just so much easier for me to spread it around and everything, or is there something that caused a change in that? Did you ever used to like to play favorites?
No, not really favorites. I mean, you want to keep everybody happy.
Right.
You don't want people mad, and then you have animosity, I think that's the word, on your offense, and which causes problems and it doesn't work. I mean, I've had my favorites. I mean, I still eventually have a favorite, gets more yards than other people, but I try to give everybody.
Well, that's it, because a lot of times, for example, you've played on some teams where you've had excellent players and a couple players with not as good hands or anything like that, but I've noticed you always try and get it into them, because if they're open, you hit them, basically.
Basically, who's open gets the ball.
That's it. That's the obvious point for any quarterback out there, but for some reason, it just seems to happen a bit more easily with you. You seem to give those lesser players a bit more of a chance. We saw that a lot with the Pac-Men as well.
But it's also, I mean, it's not like we're getting paid to play this game.
Right, so you want,
people paid to play, and they don't come here just to pay and just stand there and run routes. I mean, eventually they do want to get the ball, so you try to give the ball to everybody. Even if they drop it, they drop it. They have to learn eventually. If you don't get the ball thrown, you never catch the ball.
And do you ever get the feeling like, screw it, I'm not I'm taking over, I'm throwing to this guy the next 10 times because I'm sick of this and that you just want to take over and kind of forget that whole concept that you just described and just, this is the guy I'm hitting? Is there any player that makes you feel like that? Have you ever felt like that in this league?
Not really. I mean, I've always had good receivers, so I can't really pick one. But I mean, the only time I'll pick on a receiver, not really because I want to give him the ball, but I mean, if you start dropping the ball, I'll keep throwing it to you over and over and over until you catch that ball. I basically giving you a lesson to catch the ball. But I mean, I can't really pick any favorites. I've never really had one guy that blew everyone out of the water. I mean, this year I have Mark that's up there, but I mean they're all up there. I mean, they're a bit under him, but I mean, there's never any favorite one receiver.
All right. That's it from me. I'm going to give you a little time now if you want to give your thoughts on being inducted to the Hall of Fame, people you want to thank, or any thoughts on on the league or anything like that. This is your chance.
Not really. I mean, I'd like to thank the league for being here. It's an amazing league. I just enjoy playing football. I mean, as long as Flag's here, I'm here. I'm going to keep playing. I mean, Rob, amazing job. I mean, starting the league up and getting the leagues everywhere else, Ottawa, Vancouver. He's done a great job with this thing. I mean, even with the web panel, with the articles, trophies, everything. I mean, it makes players feel like they're playing
for more than just a win.
Not just like, not professional, but somewhat professional. I mean, you're getting newscasts, you're getting everything. It makes people feel good. I mean, you see the pros get all that, and if you play football and you're in little leagues or whatever, you don't get that.
No.
Now, he's brought out a somewhat version of non-professional, everything else.
To get as close as we can get without making the millions of dollars.
Without making millions.
Who knows? The lockout's there. Maybe they'll give us some call-ups, All right. Any teammates or anything like that you'd like to thank for getting you where you are in particular, or just all of them?
All of them. I mean, thanks to all my receivers, especially Keyshawn and Kareem. They're my agents, my FlagPlus Football pimps there. They pimp me out. So, but yeah, no, it's everybody. All my receivers, everyone. Can't complain about any of them.
I'm sure all your receivers are grateful to have had you as a quarterback. We're grateful that you came onto this edition of Breaking the Huddle. Thanks a lot, Kevin. And again, congratulations to Kevin Wyeth for being a member of the inaugural class of the FlagPlus Football Hall of Fame. And keep up the good work, and we'll see you around.
Thank you very much.